It's about 7:15 p.m. on Saturday, June 22nd, 2024. And we're moving them into the last section here. And looking at where they were at, there was a ton of that dallisgrass. One word, D-A-L-L-I-S, grass, one word, aka caterpillar grass. It looks like that's the stuff they were munching on. They're eating down to the ground. So that's what was going on there. They missed a lot of it. There's the risk. I was reading about dallisgrass, and there's a website. One of the universities was explaining that when you get the seed heads like this, go ahead. Yeah, just unhook it first and then reel it up. But these seed heads, they can get that ergot. It's a fungus, I think, that gets in the seeds and causes poisoning. And it's called like dallisgrass or caterpillar grass poisoning. And the symptoms are that the cows will get like really jittery. They'll kind of freak out, and they'll kind of have the shakes. And that comes from the ergot in the seeds there. And the treatment is just to get them off the grass. Give them some grass that doesn't have the ergot poisoning on it. So I don't know how you pronounce that E-R-G-O-T word. You know, I'm pretty sure it's not ergot, because that would be like French, and that's like Latin. So I'm gonna say ergot. Anyway, yeah. So I was reading about that. Mostly dallisgrass is a weed that gets in your lawn and ruins your lawn, and you know, a lot has been written about how to kill it. And there's various chemicals that'll kill it. But for me, it's forage. It's a decent forage. It's not the best forage, but it's decent forage. And one of the reasons why it's good is it puts down deep roots, and it loves the heat like Bermuda grass. And I think the cows like it. I think they prefer to munch on this than Bermuda grass. I don't know what the protein content is compared to Bermuda grass, but as far as I can tell, I don't have any concerns about my cows eating not enough protein. So the patties look just fine, and they're doing pretty good. Okay, so I'll just keep an eye out if they get the shakes or tremors, if there's signs that they got the ergot poisoning, and in which case then I'll probably keep them off the dallisgrass. Worst case, I might just mow it down. You know, let it just mow down to the ground. But yeah, it's growing quite well, and to me, it kind of doesn't matter where the cows get their forage from, as long as I'm not paying for it. You know, it comes from sunshine and rain, and anything that grows that the cows eat, I think, is a win. And even if the cows don't eat it, even the weeds that they don't like and they won't touch, it's better to have something in the ground than not, is my opinion. And yes, it would be nice if we just had year-round ryegrass or whatever else, you know. Nothing's perfect, you know, but the cows need to eat something. And as long as they're eating something, it's better than nothing. Some types of forage might be better than others, but I don't think it's worth the effort of trying to get that particular kind of forage. You know, just let the grass grow. Let the ground heal, and let the cows graze on what they want to graze on. You can see this one's just going after the seed heads. And she's pretty excited about, you know, whatever's in those seeds. It might taste sweeter. It might be higher in like carbohydrates than the Bermuda grass. This calf here, she's nibbling at the, I'm assuming that's dallisgrass. Actually, it looks different. It looks like a different kind of seed head. But she's nibbling down there near the ground. And this bigger cow, she's going after the leaves. She wants the leaves, not the seed heads. You know. So, yeah, I'm gonna set up another row for Sunday morning. It's gonna be 150 feet wide, and we're gonna see what the cows do with that. And we're gonna see if 100 feet or 150 feet wide is the right size of row for these cows, based on how much they eat. And there was a couple spots here where I felt like they ate too much. They went too close to the ground. So we're gonna try to avoid that. I'm going to keep a close eye on this row as it recovers to see if it recovers faster or slower, or the same as other rows around it. There's one more special thing about this section of this row, is this little hill where I've always had a sort of hill here. I'm going to try to get so the sunlight's not blocking the view, because I don't think the lens is clean. Let's go this direction. So this hill, I think there might have been a pile of hay here. They might have put hay down and fed the hay here, because to me, this ground has always been a little more fertile than the ground around it. And one thing the weeds do is, if the soil content has too much nitrogen, for various reasons. One of the reasons is you put the cows on one spot of ground for too long and their manure's been piling up and the ground's not able to digest it. The weeds will take advantage of that and they will suck up that nitrogen. And so here we have a bunch of, I think this is horse nettle, a little bit of dock. These things are dock. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong. I believe this is dock. And then there's a bunch of goatweed in here too. And there's a little bit of Bermuda grass in here in between. So, you go, oh man, it's a bunch of weeds, that's bad. Well, the weeds are trying to heal the ground. They're trying to restore balance. And in one way, the weeds are kind of like, sometimes they represent the soil's really poor. Sometimes they represent the soil has way too much nitrogen in it. And the grass just can't bear it. So we did get a lot of spring grass here though. You can see the dead grass lying down there. And so it looked pretty green in the spring, but now that summer's here, the summer grass isn't really doing a good job of growing here. So let the weeds do their thing. If the cows don't eat it and the sheep don't eat it, I'm not terribly concerned. Everything I'm looking at here will die. It's not perennial. The goatweed can be perennial, but every winter it dies out. So this goatweed is goatweed that started growing about a month ago. So it has to compete with everything else. And one of these days, I'm sure, the grass will overtake and crowd out the goatweed. Might take a couple of years. This is a different kind of plant I'm not used to seeing. I don't see this too much here. I'm not sure what that is. So it almost looks like horse nettle, but it has purple flowers and the leaves are, I guess it's not doing very well, So that's what's happening here. Maybe a little bit more forage than the other sections have had. Today was in the 90s. Might have been past 95 depending on where they were at. They don't have shade, which honestly I don't think is a big deal at these temperatures. When it gets in the hundreds, then I'll try to be certain that they have shade. Hopefully by the time it gets up to the hundreds, we'll be where the trees are. And I might just open up areas so that they have access to a tree to get some shade in the middle of the day, I might just push them too. Just tell them, hey, tough it out. All of these cows have done well with the temperature and climate that they've been given. The ones that didn't do well, I've already gotten rid of them a long time ago. So I don't think any of my cows will die from the heat, as long as the heat isn't more than we've had in the past. So we've had up to 110 degrees with decent humidity, and we've had lower temperatures with very high humidity. When it's 90 and like 90% humidity, that's pretty terrible stuff. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.